he was still alive when they started to eat him. Michael Crichton, Jurassic Park. Hold on. Bah. Hello from the Ukrainian capital of Canada? What does that mean, Adobo? But okay. Next is The King of Cats. It is a visual novel, and if I remember correctly, it's people on a boat, and a tiger escapes. What do you do? Preferences? Rollback side. Yeah, we'll be fine. About, in memory of Miles Malinsky. Cool. This is our like, cute little credit section. I'm in Redacted. Canada has a few large diasporas of displaced people. Oh, you're already in Redacted? Have fun? Can I auto? Ooh, I wonder. What was it? F is what got us the talks? Oop, nope. F just full screens it. Wait, go back. I want to read. Well, looks like Nina's reading this time. The rain patters slightly on the nylon cover hanging over the patio. If I do auto, does it go by itself? If I do auto? Nope. The man stands next to his stool at a high table draped in gaudy checkered cloth. He opens his second beer and stirs a bowl of clam chowder without particular interest. Val Fortunato thought this might be the worst chowder he's ever had. He's tasted in his life. He drops a spoon into the soup and glances around the restaurant. The place is practically empty, just a quaint little house on an ugly property that consists mostly of mud and cement. A row of Californian palm trees lines on one side of the lot, marking the border between the next property over. Val leans against the table and sips his beer and waits. Oh, sorry. 30 minutes and another beer and a half passes before the contact finally arrives. The man parks his car and hurries through the lot, shielding himself from the rain as he trots along. Finally, I feel like I've been waiting all day long. Sorry about that, I had to make a few quick calls. This city hosts Canada's National Festival and this stupidly popular country festival. Oh, that sounds fun. He's a slender man dressed in khakis and a collared shirt with a zoo logo. It looks like a uniform. The seller brushes the rain off his clothes and sits at the stool directly across from Val. Not a problem. You want some dinner? Something to drink? Sure, why not? I drove 2.5 hours to come here. I could use a bite and a beer. They call over the waiter and he takes their orders. The man orders 2 beers and asks for a rare steak and a side of baked potatoes. That sounds so good. And you, sir? How's the chowder? It's the worst thing I've tasted in my life. The waiter's taken aback by how plainly Val tells him this. I want something else. Let me get the same thing, chicken sandwich, some bread and butter. Some bread and butter. After the waiter leaves, the 2 men wait in silence for a moment. So, I hear you're in the market for cats. That's right. And I also hear any old zoo cat won't do. It has to be a special cat. You heard right? The man folds his hands on the table and smiles. That's pet pets. Squishmallows has pet pets. Wait. Wasn't there something bad about Squishmallows? Wasn't there something bad? I'm trying to remember. But that does sound super cute. I have something that will make your partners very happy. I think so. I feel like I remember somebody telling me about the owner or the creator of it. And I was like, no. Maybe. Maybe. Check. Let's see. These cats are really something else. I got them out of the San Diego Zoo just in time. Another few hours and we wouldn't be having this conversation. Jesus, that bad? Yeah. 2 whole litters of them. Even the damn cubs. Naturally, if you take them all, I'll cut you a nice discount. Naturally. So what do you say? You want the whole lot? The waiter arrives again with their food and drinks. He lays out the steak, potatoes, and 2 beers in front of the seller, then puts down Val's bread. You gentlemen enjoy. The men stay silent until the waiter walks out of earshot. So, how's that bread? It's stale. But what the hell, it's free. He sticks a piece in his mouth and crunches away delightfully. Not bad, if I'm being honest. Val pulls a checkbook out of his pocket and lays it on the table. Let's discuss these cats. You got a pen? squish thing. Marshmallows. What was it? I don't remember what the bad thing was. Maybe it was the fandom they were talking about. Oh, well, that was 2019. That's why Denmark banned them. Okay. Maybe they meant the fandom, and not the person who runs it. Anyway, super cute! When Val arrives back at his hotel room, he goes straight to the phone to call his longtime friend and business partner, David Kemp, Doctor of Wildlife Biology. The man on the phone speaks with a gruff and short tone. Hello? David, it's me. I'm at the cellar. The deal seems legit. The man on the phone breathes a sigh of relief. Excellent. I'll probably never be a voice actor because they'll probably see this and be like, see, she doesn't take it serious. She doesn't know how to do it. How many cats did you buy? About a dozen, mostly cubs. From what I understand, the adults teach their cubs, so they were just gonna put the whole litter down. Jesus, even the cubs? These people are the real animals. What a novel sentiment. Somebody should make a movie about that idea. Hey, I'm serious. How can you live with yourself after murdering a baby animal? Alright, Dave, I get you. I'm just busting your balls. I know. Are you making the arrangements with our longshoremen? Yeah, I'm on it, Dave. Is everything lined up in Tijuana? Naturally, one of my former colleagues pointed me to a gentleman by the name of... Well, I don't remember. Something Spanish in any case. Something Spanish. He wants as many cats as he can get. Excellent. I'll call you when we're about to leave port. No, call me as soon as you set things up. I want to come along. On the ship? You gotta be shitting me. That's gonna look suspicious as hell. I don't care. This is a major investment, and I want to see it through. I'm also bringing along a friend. His name is... Lindsay. I think you get along with him. He's a no-nonsense kind of guy. You say so, Dave. I'm also bringing Joey along. What the hell for? If we get into trouble with any local authorities, he'll come in real handy. He's got connections in California. He'll use them to put out any fires, so to speak. Alright, I'll call you as soon as we have a shipping date. Good. I'll see you then. The man on the other line hangs up the phone. Val sits in the silent hotel and stares out the window. The rain is coming down harder now than before. He doesn't like the idea of David coming along for the ride, let alone two of his lackeys. But as a 2/3 shareholder and bigger money spender, David is technically the boss. Val has no power but to make suggestions. He picks up the phone and calls a longshoreman to arrange transport for his newly bought cats. I'm worried I might just get everyone accidentally killed. Alright, 92. Okay, so that's the year. I didn't exist yet. The cargo ship left port 4 hours ago. The sun is setting in the red evening sky. The Black Grove is driving south toward Tijuana, Mexico. Okay. Val enters the commons and scans the room. He spots two men he recognizes plus some members of the ship's crew. Ray Lindsay is the muscle man that Dr. Kemp hired, bald with a black mustache. Rude. Yeah, sometimes they don't give us them Pokemons. He's a fit man with a pair of khakis, shorts, and sandals contrasting his leather jacket. Lindsay's outfit is like an international mercenary turned aging summer dad. The huge revolver holstered on his belt completes the look. Joey Haynes is Dr. Kemp's lawyer. He got dragged along to deal with any problems from California authorities. Bye, Diggins. Thanks for stopping in. And of course, thank you for the opals. You have a good day. Don't die at work, please. Now that they left the States, his work is done and he's just along for the ride. His shirt is unbuttoned and his sleeves rolled up, and his wife beater is sweat-soaked. Two men are hunched over the counter while they drink shots of scotch from the mini-fridge. They turn around and acknowledge Val. Hey, Val, want some? We're playing a little guessing game. Oh, yeah? Yeah, what's Dr. Kemp's big secret cargo? You mean the cows? Joey cackles loudly. This fucking guy. No, not the cattle. Dr. Kemp obviously didn't bring me and Mr. Haynes along to protect cattle. The ship isn't even outfitted properly for that kind of job. It's gotta be something stored with the cattle. Or maybe inside them. it's just beef for some big Mexican zoo. Are you sure? I mean, have you seen any cows? Joey, this man is David Kemp's business partner. I'd wager he knows all about the secret cargo. If I die at work, I couldn't even tell you I died. That's true, but hopefully somebody, eventually, going through your things would be like, hey, we should tell everybody that he knows that he's gone. Like, maybe they go onto your Discord and they're like, hey, I saw that I'm part of this server. Just want to let you know, I have ceased to exist now. Certain isn't beef. Is that right? What is it then? Why not tell him? Cats. A bunch of cats. The two men stare blankly. Right, like your sub would end. Wait, in theory, what if it didn't, though? What if he has it on auto renewal, right? And it would just keep going until the bank realizes he's dead and closes his account, or the money runs out. But yeah, you'd stop appearing in chat and that'd be really sad. Cats? Yes, exquisite cats. Cats specifically bred for the highest paying bidders in Mexico. And I suppose exquisite cat conventions are generally held in Tijuana. Naturally. Did you say cats? Yes, Joey, he said cats. I want to know what kind of cats we're talking about. Big cats? Dangerous cats? Val shrugs. I don't think they're dangerous, they're just for some wealthy breeders. Mexican cat breeders, eh? In any case, we've tranquilized them for the duration of the trip. Why'd you do that if they're not dangerous? It would stop when they're closed. Yes, but how fast is Canada to close bank accounts when people die? To keep them calm, we don't want them to scrape up a mountain of cat shit after we dock. Hold on a second. He sways drunkenly in his seat. There's one thing I'm still not clear about. What are cats doing on a boat? I'm starting to regret this. Joey laughs. I didn't know there were going to be cats in the mix. Can we play with them? Sweet baby Joey. What? You guys said there were cats. He meows. Cats like to play. They're tranquilized, Joey. He just told us that. Maybe you need to be tranquilized so you don't throw yourself overboard by mistake. Joey cackles and his cheeks brighten. That's a good one. Real good. Anyway, there's nothing to worry about. Dave and I have it under control. Val gestures to the drunken lawyer. Just keep an eye on this guy and make sure he doesn't fall off the boat. The last thing we need is a drowning on our hands. Foreshadowing? In the Black Robe's helm, Captain Frank Walker fiddles with the radio. Heavy rain beats down on the windows as the ship sails southbound. Ship security officer, SSO. Genevieve Jean Antonia is at Captain's side, listening on the call. What's going on, Captain? Some kind of problem with the cargo. Hold on a second. The audio is distorted and difficult to understand. The voice of Sailor Brian Morrison crackles through the speaker. In the cargo hold. Over. Say again, you're breaking up. Over. There's something wrong with the... I don't know what's going... Say again. Over. I don't like this, Frank. Oh, it's not the person on the radio. It's Gene. Gene, first we're playing cruise ship with that millionaire and his little posse. Now a problem with the cargo? What are you talking about? I don't know. It's a weird coincidence. You saw the manifest, right? He's just shipping calves for zoo lions. He's probably here to help his staff feed and care for them. Relax, all right? If there's something wrong with the animals, we need to let him know. I'll call his cabin once we know what's going on. It could just be a loose door or something. Loose door? Maybe some cows got loose? Who knows? The speaker continues crackling. Brian's voice comes through clearly for a moment. Send somebody down with some chains and padlocks. Over. Call cuts out. Roger that, sailor. Sending someone down. Over. Sailor Taylor? Yes, sir? Grab some chains and padlocks from storage and take them to the cargo hold. And be quick about it. Yes, sir! The seaman marches away dutifully. Sailor Morrison, this is Captain Walker. I'm sending Taylor down to help out. Over. Nothing comes through the speaker but static. Brian? Do you read me? Over. More static. Jean gives him a grave stare. Ooh, maybe I said their name wrong. I'm going down there after him. What for? If something's wrong, we'll hear about it any minute now. The safety of the cargo is my responsibility. Let's see. Few days for the bank. Transfer them. And those few frozen. So unless Dickens had a multi-month sub, we wouldn't know for some time. Well, that's the thing though, even if it was multi-month, it gets paid in... Like, if you did 1 month, then it would charge once a month. But if you did a 3-month, then it only charges him every 3 months, and by then it would close. A 6 month, it could charge him for 6 months. Oh yeah, that's so sad. Oh god. You wouldn't know. You would just be like, oh, I haven't seen them in chat in a while. And then it's like, oh, they've been dead this whole time. And it's like, oh. Oh. I'm going down there. Excuse me, Captain. Thank you for letting me know, Tony. That's useful information. She storms out of the helm and hurries after Sailor Morrison. He's joined by second mate Florinian Cruz. Hey, Cap. What was that about? Jean's worried about a millionaire's cows. What for? What am I looking at? We're locked and loaded with combat shotguns. We don't need to worry about a bunch of illiterate pirates. No, it's not pirates she's worried about. Then what? I don't know. Something about the millionaire and his cows. No, Bear. He's not trying to die at work. It's just, you know, because he works construction. You know, and tall buildings, dangerous. Anything can happen, or, you know. I don't know. Maybe it's just something I do. When people go off to work, I'm just like, you know, have a good day. Don't die. You know, it's like, try to put some good karma on them, if you will. So we don't want him to die. It's just like, suddenly thinking the logistics of like, oh, if he did die, how would we know? And it was like, oh, sadness. And that's how we got down that path. Right? Anything. God, what is it? I think one of my college roommates, I think like she was like walking with her mom and she just dropped and it was like, oh, brain aneurysm. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, she just went instantly. And I'm like, that's horrifying. That at any moment's notice you could just go. I'm like, that's terrifying. Which is why a little part of me is like, if I want something, I'll go and get it. Because I could die tomorrow. Well, Dickens should get good and pat himself with pillows. Checkmate. Yeah, several medical issues can kill on the spot. Yeah, it's crazy. We are in April. Ooh, I need to set up an appointment with my doctor and get those results. Anyway, back to the game. She holds up the receiver and speaks. Jean, any updates? Over. That does super suck, though, Tony. In the cargo hold, the distinct sound of a crackling radio echoes through the austere metal halls. The distorted voice of Captain Walker comes through in a mess of white noise. Brian, do you read me? Over. Sailor Morrison clicks his radio off and latches it to his belt. He scans the hold with a tranquilizer rifle trembling in his hands. The cargo hold is dimly lit. Several light bulbs seem not to work at all. The exit is only a few yards away, but each step he takes thunders through the metal hall. He steps slowly and dutifully toward the door. Just as he reaches the door, someone on the other side spins the valve and swings it open. There's a man on the other side. Brian levels the tranquilizer rifle at the stranger. Hey, chill out, it's me. Jesus, Eric, you scared me. He lowers the rifle. Come on, let's get out of here and lock up the door. What's going on? There's a bunch of goddamn cats loose. Cats? What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, big orange tigers. Holy shit, did you tell the captain? Of course I did. Now grab those chains and come on. They exit the cargo hold and push the heavy metal doors shut and stand in the downpour. Taylor holds up the chains like they're a pile of slimy worms slinked in the rain. Come on, man. Don't you know how to seal a door? Give me the goddamn thing. Eric haphazardly dumps the chains into Brian's hands. Brian lifts the heavy chains and heaves them over the valve. The valve twists and the door clicks open and slides ajar under the weight of the chains. Shit. Push that fucking thing shut. Ooh, dang. Yeah, I hope your kitty's better, bro. The door flings open and smacks into Morrison, sending him stumbling backwards. He points the tranquilizer rifle in the general direction of the door and fires. Dart clangs against the bulkhead. What am I looking? There's nothing visible in the shadows beyond the open door, creaking in the rain. Something growls from inside. That's good. Oh, shit. Brian racks the bolt of the tranquilizer rifle and fishes around his pockets for another dart. Shoot the damn thing, man! Shut up and let me... A tiger lunges out of the shadows without a sound. It moves with impossible speed. It grabs Eric and tackles him to the deck in the falling rain. The big cat locks its snarling jaws around his throat and clamps down. Oh, nice. His neck breaks so quickly that he doesn't have time to scream. We just got right into it. The animal drops his limp body on the wet deck and turns its head back at Brian with dilated eyes. He doubles back to the cargo door, boots squeaking against the slick metal as the tiger's paws patter behind him. Is it like a squeak, 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 squeak? He lunges through the doorway and pulls the door shut behind him. It shuts with such force that it nearly bounces back ajar. But he quickly grabs the valve and pulls it shut before the animal can slip inside. He tries to seal the door, but his slick hands slide off the wet valve. Come on, you bastard! Something growls behind him, and his stomach feels like concrete. He turns around slowly and extends the flaps of his coat to make himself look bigger. And he freezes with horror when he sees the rest of the litter in the cargo hold. Standing between rows of huge crates, an adult tiger watches him with a pair of cubs at its flanks. Another dozen feet back, there's another family of tigers, 2 adults, and some cubs. Brian doesn't care to count them all. The adult is frozen in a walking posture with dilated eyes fixed on him curiously. Somewhere in his mind, it reminds him of a cat playing with its toy, and his terror becomes extreme. He drops a coat flap and uses his free hand to produce 3 darts from his pocket. The tigers watch him curiously. They seem hesitant to make a move. Brian can hear the big male outside clawing at the door. He fixes the rifle at the nearest adult cat. Then he chambers 1 dart and clamps the other 2 between his teeth. He mutters through his clenched jaws, "Say goodnight, you big bastard." He squeezes the trigger and the sound of compressed air startles the big animal and sends it nearly 6 feet into the air. The dart whizzes past the adult and hits a tiny cub across the room. Oh no. The little animal cries out pitifully. The animals dart around in collective panic before they calm down and refocus their attention on Brian. In their eyes, he sees a giant primordial firestorm bearing down upon him. He lets out his breath slowly. Oh no. Just... Oh, he's dead. Jean stomps down the stairwell toward the cargo hold. Jean, any updates? Over? I'm almost there. Hang on. Over. When she rounds the next corner, she beholds a sight of baffling horror. She sees Morrison stagger through the door and slam it shut behind him. All the while, a large white tiger jogs playfully through the rain toward the newly sealed door. The cat regards the closed door with a puzzlement, then turns around to toy with its new plaything. Taylor lies in a crumpled pile soaking in the rain. Blood drips down his arms and washes away on the metal floor. A tranquilizer dart protrudes from the animal's shoulder, but it doesn't seem to mind very much. Jean takes careful and quiet steps back into cover and up the stairs. When she reaches the upper deck, she breaks into a sprint and rips the radio from her belt. Mayday, Captain, mayday, come in, over. What's going on, Jean? There's a goddamn tiger loose on the ship, over. A what? Get the shotguns, Frank, out! While the 3 men sit at the counter and drink, somebody sprints past the windows. Val and Lindsay are startled. Joey does not notice. What was that? Looked like a member of the crew. I couldn't tell. What the hell are you guys talking about? Nothing, Joey. Go back to sleep. I wasn't sleeping. Then have another drink and let the adults handle the situation. Lindsay stands up from the stool and marches to the door. Where are you going? Dr. Kemp's cabin. I'm gonna have a word with him. Wait a minute. About what? About the cargo. God damn it. What's wrong? Nothing, Joey. Don't worry about it. Val hurries out of the commons and follows Lindsay. Joey chuckles to himself while he fills up another glass. Yes, the old boy can't handle his liquor. Jean bursts into the helm and slams the door shut behind her. She frantically spins the valve to secure the door. Frank, Cruz, and Navigator Mike Krogan watch in baffled silence. They are armed with 3 of the 4 SPAS-12 shotguns kept in the helm. Jean, what's going on? She rushes to the case and grabs the 4th gun. There's a goddamn animal on the loose. It killed Taylor. Oh my god. Killed? What about Morrison? He locked himself inside the cargo hold. I think he's fine. Have we heard from him on the radio? No, I've been calling. Oh, God. You think there could be more of them? Horrified silence hangs over the room. Jean finishes loading the shotgun and moves straight for the door. I need one of you to come with me. Well, I need to stay here. I've just turned the ship around and radioed Santa Barbara. I need to answer them if they call. Mike, why don't you go? What? Hold on. I need to stay here and navigate the ship. We don't have time to argue. Somebody, anybody, come with me. She marches out of the helm, toting her shotgun, and leaves the door open in the rain. Frank and Mike stare awkwardly at each other before Cruz speaks. I'll go. I'll probably have the second most range time after Jean. Between the two of us, I'm sure we'll be fine. Who accompanies Jean to the cargo hold? I'm gonna say she's got range time, so let's grab first mate. Alright, be careful. And Mike, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have volunteered you. Kroger shrugs. Hey, it happens. I'll stay on the radio and let you know if anything comes up, and I'll latch the door behind you. Cruz nods and hurries out the door. When Lindsay arrives at the cabins, he firmly latches the door behind him. He takes half a dozen steps before somebody opens it again. It's Val. He closes and latches the door behind him. Hey, Lindsay, hold on. I wanted a quick word with you. What is it? He hesitates. I wouldn't bother Dave if I were you. He's a bit, irritable about this whole thing. You think I'm worried about him firing me? Lindsay scoffs. If you don't want me to upset your friend, why don't you tell me what's in the cargo? Val rubs his brow and sighs heavily. Alright, look. I'm sorry for being evasive earlier, but Dave made me swear silence. When I said we're shipping cats, I was only kinda kidding. Kinda lying. They're actually, tigers. Man-eating tigers. Excuse me? Yeah, I know. And I was telling the truth about them being tranquilized. I guess I didn't give them enough? I'm assuming there was never an actual veterinarian involved. Dave thought he could figure out the doses on account of his biology degree. Lindsay rolls his eyes and laughs humorously. I don't believe this shit. He storms down the hall to Kemp's cabin and lets loose a storm of knocks. Dr. Kemp! I need to speak with you immediately. He stops knocking and waits. Silence. Lindsay glares at Val, who gives him a blank shrug. I don't know. I guess he left. Maybe the captain called him to the helm? Or maybe he went to the commons around the opposite side of the ship. Where do Val and Lindsay go next? I would say to the helm. The quicker we know about the cats, the better. Let's go to the helm. I'd like to speak with the captain anyways. Okay, let's go. Because we were just in the commons, so. The horizon is dark purple as the light fades to night. Jean jogs to the bottom of the stairs and steps cautiously toward the cargo hold. The captain speaks on the intercom and his voice thunders in the rainy expanse. He warns the crew to lock themselves in their current locations until further notice. Jean rounds the corner and spots the cargo hold door swinging open on its hinges. Somebody dropped the chains in the doorway, preventing it from fully closing. There's no blood or any sign of a struggle. Jean steps slowly through the rain and approaches the swinging door. Light footfalls thud on the metal steps behind her. It's First Mate Cruz. Hey, come on. I think they're inside. She points at the open door. Follow me and watch my back. Cruz nods. Jean steps closer to the door with the barrel of the shotgun pointed in the dark aperture. She reaches the door and pushes it open cautiously. Then she bolts the door open to keep it from swinging shut. Jean enters the dim cargo hold with Floridian Cruz, while Floridian Cruz stands outside and watches her back. She scans the room quickly. It's completely empty. No sign of Morrison or Taylor. No sign of any tigers. Jesus Christ, what's going on? Jean, the cats are outside! Jean swings around and points her shotgun out the door. At the same moment, Cruz raises her shotgun and fires at something Jean cannot see. Jean hears a tiger cry out and whimper. A tense moment passes before she speaks. Jean? I'm right behind you, Florian. Florian. What just happened? I shot the damn thing and it ran away. Took around a buckshot like a champ. Can't believe I even had time to shoot him. Or her. Anyway, that's scratch one tiger, maybe. There's nothing in here. We need to get back to the helm. Distinct gunshots dissipate into the storm as Lindsay and Val walk to the helm. Sounds like the crew is privy to your little plan. Our plan? We're in this together, remember? Actually, we're not. See, I don't know how much Joey knew, but I was kept completely in the dark. If anything, I'd say you and Dr. Kemp are both guilty of fraud. That's neither here nor there. Come on! Dr. Kemp is already in the helm. He's embattled in a shouting match with Captain Walker. You son of a bitch. Do you realize what you've done? You're responsible for multiple deaths. Would you please calm down and be reasonable? I know I screwed up, but yelling at me won't fix anything. And here are my associates, Val Fortunato and Ray Lindsay. Maybe they can help clear up this whole misunderstanding. Dr. Kemp, I came here to have a word with you, but it seems my point's already been made. You've acted with complete reckless disregard. Me? You should ask Val how the cats got out in the first place. Everyone is silent. The group turns toward Val. What? Please, Val, enlighten us. Well, earlier this evening, Dr. Kemp sent me down to feed the cats and give them their tranquilizers. And that was just before they got loose. Son of a bitch. Take it easy, okay? I don't know what happened. They must have spat out the pills I put in their meat. Right? And now I feel vindicated. It's not my fault the animals got loose. You're insane, Dr. Kemp. How dare you talk to me like that? I'm paying you handsomely for... You can keep my paycheck. I want nothing to do with your shady operation. We need to stop arguing and figuring out what to do. Well, we're secure in here. We can just wait until we get back to port, then wait for animal control. Captain, I disagree. We need to check on the rest of the crew. Namely, Chef and the rest of the sailors. Yeah, I guess you're right. Has anybody heard from Joey? I think he's still in the Commons. Crews, call the Commons phone and see if Joey answers. Got it. Shit, no response. Seems like Joey's gone missing. Damn that stupid son of a bitch. I'll search the ship and see if I can find him. Someone should come with me. Crews? I'll go. I gotta do something to help clean up this mess. Let me have one of those shotguns there. I feel a bit naked with nothing but my wheel gun. Jean nods. Here, take mine. I need to stay here and navigate the ship. I can come too. 3 guns is better than 2. I'll stay here and get on the radio. Let the authorities know we have a couple of delinquents on board. Alright, let's go find Joey, Chef, and the rest of the sailors. I want to go grab bread. Jean, Lindsay, and Cruz march the rain by and by. Go downstairs to the lower deck and investigate the dining hall. Jean opens the door and looks inside. The lights are off and she can't see anything in the shadows. Jean enters slowly with her shotgun extended. She flicks the light switch. When the lights come on, she scans the room quickly. No sign of anyone or the tigers. Lindsay and Cruz follow her in. They cross the room to the gallery door. Sorry, galley, not gallery. Jean swings the valve and opens the door. Chef is standing on the other side with a baffled expression. His arm has been torn, and his white shirt is soaked red, but he managed not to lose his chef's hat. Jesus Christ, it's you guys. For a second I was worried the cats learned how to open doors. He chuckles humorously. Chef, are you okay? You look hurt pretty bad. I'm fine. I've stopped the bleeding. Can't really grab anything with his arm, though. You should come with us. We've got medical supplies in the helm. Alright. That sounds good. Cruz leads the way back out into the rain. And an orange blur swipes her out of view in the blink of an eye. Holy shit! Chef sprints back into the galley and slams the door shut behind him. Jean and Lindsay rush out to the deck to try and help Cruz. When they step into the rain, they see the tiger's swishing tail as it disappears around the corner toward the cargo hold. Cruz's limp feet dangle along behind. Son of a bitch! Jean says nothing. There's no sign of Cruz, like she had never even stood there. The captain is on the radio talking to the mainland. Mike Kroger is busy navigating the ship. Dr. Kemp leans toward Val and whispers, "We've got to get out of here before we get to shore." I was thinking the same thing. Lifeboat? Yeah, lifeboat. What about Joey? He could be cat food for all we know. We can't just leave him. We'll see if we can find him along the way. But I'm not gonna bend over backwards. The crew's distracted, but I'm gonna walk to the head and then slip out. You wait 60 seconds and do the same thing. No, wait, I'm going first. What? You got me into this whole mess by talking me into this. Hey, come on, now's not the time. All I was supposed to do is feed the damn cats. Well, you fucked that up and now here we are. You son of a bitch. Quiet. Look, whether you believe it or not, I'm on this trolley ride with you. And I don't like where it's heading any more than you do. You must go first, then go. I'll wait a minute and catch up. Okay, let's do this, Dave. Gotta whisper. Whisper. Standing over the radio console, the captain nods and keeps talking. Yeah, that's right. I said tigers. Look, I don't know how. Just get animal control to the port before we show up. Valley kept rendezvous in the rain on the upper deck. There you are. Come on. Let's get down to lifeboats before one of those assholes spots us and locks us in the brig. Yeah, or before one of your cats eats us. Very funny. Let's go. The two men sneak down the stairs and head toward the rear of the ship. Neither man is familiar with cargo ships, but they assume the lifeboats must be on the lower deck. When they find the lifeboat, Joey is already there. He's tugging uselessly at the straps on the tarp and doesn't notice their approach. Hey, dipshit! Joey jumps and spins like a startled cat. Jesus! I thought you were one of the sailors. What are you doing, Joey? Are you gonna take the lifeboat and leave us all? Oh yeah, Adobo got big money. No? Don't worry about it. I'm sure there's room for 3. Maybe if you can figure this crazy thing out. I've been working on it for 20 minutes. You've been standing out here completely exposed for 20 minutes? Yeah? So? Joey, you're aware there are tigers loose on the ship, right? Joey laughs and rolls his eye. Yeah, sure, okay, guys. Be serious, Joey. The man-eating tigers we were transporting got loose. Joey's expression settles into solemn seriousness. We were shipping tigers? You're kidding me, right? Why were you abandoning ship if you didn't know about the tigers? When I went looking for you guys, I overheard someone talking in the helm. It sounded like they were writing us out. They said we're going back to California. Yeah, idiot. Because of the tigers. Oh. Well, this all starting to add up. Come on, let's get the hell out of here. This tarp is tied down with a bungee cord. Joey, are you drunk or just a complete moron? Joey says nothing. Val unhooks the bungee cord and carefully pulls it away. All you have to do is push the 2 hooks together. Just be careful so it doesn't come back and smack you in the face. Val. What? He turns and sees what renders the men speechless. A large tiger stands on the deck watching them, its fur soaking in the rain. Grab this real quick. The eyes are dilated and laser focused on the 3 men. Oh, shit. Shut up. What do we do? I said, shut up. The tiger lowers its head and prepares to pounce. Oh, fuck this! Joey spins around and breaks into a sprint down the wet deck. Joey! Kemp lifts the tarp and jumps into the lifeboat, then yanks it back down over himself. The tiger seems startled by the abrupt chaos, but now it's ready to pounce again. Hide in the lifeboat with Kemp, run with Joey, hang on the railing over the ocean. I'm gonna hide in the lifeboat. Val rushes to the lifeboat and pulls the tarp to jump inside with Kemp. But Kemp is holding the tarp down tight. Dave, it's me! Let me in! He tugs on the tarp again, but Kemp's grip won't budge. You son of a bitch! The tiger roars and tackles Val. Here's the thing. A tiger is fast. I don't think I can outrun it. He cannot comprehend the speed and power with which he was taken down. The animal snorts and he can feel its hot breath in his ears. It licks him before it goes for the kill. Val screams. Then everything goes black. There's no longer any sight or sound in Val's world. Everything is dissolved away into peaceful solitude. Well, that's one less character I have to read for. The tiger drags its fresh prey and drops it next to the lifeboat. A small swarm of cubs come out from under the stairwell and begins feasting on the dead flesh. The tiger turns his attention to the strange creature hiding under the tarp. It reaches in and paws gently at the hidden lump. The small creature is trying its best to stay motionless, but the cat detects the faintest whimper. The tiger stands up on its hind legs and drops its forelegs onto the funny lump under the tarp. Kemp shrieks under the crushing weight. Don't tigers weigh close to like a ton? How much does a tiger weigh? Let's find out. How much does a tiger weigh? Anywhere from 140 to 680 pounds. The animal grabs the tarp with its teeth and violently reveals the terrified prey. The man just sits curled up inside the lifeboat while the animal watches him curiously. It paws him, as if to check if he's actually alive. Kemp can hear the baby animals feasting on the corpse of his companion. While he does his best to stay still, the tiger leans its head inside him, bites the collar of his shirt. It lifts him gently out of the lifeboat and drops him on the deck like a newborn babe. The rain falls in heavy sheets against the metal floor. Kemp just sits there, shielding his head and neck from the blow that cannot be deflected. The cubs turn their attention from the fresh kill and look at this cowering animal. The adult tiger steps back and sits down to observe while the cubs excitedly prepare for their first kill. Oh my god. I just love that the tiger's like, you know what? Perfect. Chef is napping in the corner of the room with the bandages around his arm. Jean, the captain, and Lindsay huddle in a corner and discuss their next move. This is getting out of control. Jesus, I know that. You got a goddamn suggestion or what? How about this? I'm gonna solve this problem myself. What the fuck are you talking about? They're cats. Cats like to nest. I'll find their nest and I'll lock it up. Otherwise, I'll shoot every last one of them. Fucking A. No, I don't think so. That sounds like a suicide mission. Everybody's accounted for. All we need to do is sit here, keep the door shut, and wait. Mike will take us into port, and animal control will do the rest. All due respect, Captain, I prefer Jean's plan. I'm going if you like it or not. Ship safety is my responsibility. I should have stopped this from happening in the first place. The captain opens his mouth to protest, then hesitates. Alright, go ahead. I'm with the captain. I would have just waited. I'll stay on the radio and let you know if there's any news. Good luck, Jean. Sure. Somebody knocks loudly on the door. They twist the valve and swing it open. It's Joey Haynes. Jesus, who are you? The disheveled man speaks with a heavy slur. I'm Joey Haynes, doctor's lawyer. Holy fuck, you would not believe the night I've had. What happened? So, Val and Kemp are both dead. What? Yeah, I think the tigers got him. I'm not really sure. I'm playing with Joey's voice. But I'm here. More than happy to answer for my crimes instead of, well, you know. Oh, sure. Yeah, so here I am. Somebody lock this asshole in the brig. And if you don't mind, I'll be on my way to put down these fucking cats. I'll come with. I wouldn't miss an opportunity to shoot a fucking tiger. Just dropping all the F-bombs. Just F-bomb, F-bomb, F-bomb. Jean and Lindsay march out of the helm and stop in the rain. Before we go any further, we should come up with a plan. Maybe come up with a plan before you leave the safety of the helm. Where do we go first? Oh, cargo hold. There's nothing here. Commons. There's nothing here. Upper deck. The adult tiger knocks her to the ground before she knows what's happening. The last thing she hears is Lindsay's agonized screams. Everything goes black and Jean falls into a state of overwhelming placidity. Whoa! Crap! The captain calls out through the radio. Jean, are you there? Come in. Over. No reply. Come in, Jean. What's your status? God damn it. When the ship lands in California, the event that follows is known as the Santa Barbara Massacre. Animal control agents sweep the cargo ship room by room before the remaining tigers launch a dizzying ambush. The animals kill one agent and manage to wound 3 more in the ensuing chaos. The survivors retreat back to the safety of the port. An hour-long siege ensures before the local SWAT unit finally storms the ship. 2 more operators are killed in the fight against the final remaining tiger. The authorities retrieve the survivors from the helm and the cabins before they begin tallying the dead. Animal control agents take away the surviving cubs to be euthanized. However, the cubs mysteriously disappear just hours before their scheduled demise. In the end, life returns to normal for the survivors. Posthumously, Dr. David Kemp becomes known by local media outlets as the Kitten King or the King of Cats. But those who survived the incident aboard the Black Grove just remember him as an asshole with too much money. Wow. Bad ending? Oh. The casualties are Jean, Ray, Lindsay, Val, First Mate Florian Cruz, Sailor Brian, Sailor Eric, Dr. David Kemp, and then my survivors. What's that? And 4 undisclosed sailors. Woo. Well, yeah. I guess we could try one more. There's preference. Skip. Transitions. Right? I'm just gonna save at the end, because why not? Does it put me back at the beginning? In memory of Miles. Well, I thought I was making the right choices because I was like, I can't outrun a tiger, so I'll just hide under the boat. Nope. Apparently Joey outran a tiger just fine. Now do we try again? We got time. We can try one more, see what happens. Skip. Alright, let's get who knows, maybe this determines if I live or die. Let's get a steak, baked potatoes. 2 men wait in silence for a moment. I don't know, I've had better. If I'm being honest, I wish I didn't order anything in the first place. I should have stuck with bread. At least that's free. Val pulls a checkbook out of his pocket and lays it on the table. Let's discuss these cats. Let's say... Again, just so everyone's aware that there's a bunch of cats. Just getting to my choices. Because when they went together, they were fine, right? You know, let's try Captain. Let's try Captain Frank. See what we get. No, I'll go. Sorry, Mike. I shouldn't have volunteered you. No worries. Cap. Keep yourself safe. Yeah, I'll stay on the radio and give you a call if something comes up. I'll latch the door behind you. Captain nods and hurries out the door. Oh, I think this is all same. Where do Val and Lindsay go next? We went to the helm. No, we went to the commons. Let's go to the commons. Let's head back to the commons. We need to let Joey know what's going on. We'll just call the helm from there. Okay, let's go. Alright, speaks on the intercom and her voice thunders in the rainy expanse. She warns the crew to lock themselves in their current locations until further notice. Jean rounds the corner. So, there's like some same dialogue. Heavy footfalls clang on the metal steps behind her. It's Captain Walker. Sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything? You're just in time. Come on. I think they're inside. She points at the open door. Oop, this all looks the same. Until he talks, so it's... yeah. Okay, I think I got it. Jean enters the dim cargo while Captain Walker stands outside and watches her back. Jean? We've got a big problem! Jean swings around and points her shotgun out the door. At the same moment, the captain frantically blasts at something Jean cannot see. Then, like a flash of orange lightning, the huge cat tackles him to the floor. Jean opens up on the massive animal. A flash of blood sprays out of its bestial shoulder. It lets out a pitiful cry. The tiger drops the captain out of its hot jaws and limps out of Jean's field of view. Jean walks through the door and approaches the captain's crumpled form. His eyes dart paranoid in every direction. Oh my god, Frank! The captain's breast has been slashed over his heart by a huge set of claws. His shirt is a bundle of ragged ribbons. There's a set of bleeding holes on his neck where the teeth clamp down on him. Blood streams down his shirt and he groans and moves. He's still alive! Evidently the cat did not have time to finish off its prey. Jean lifts him over his shoulder and struggles to drag him back to the stairs. She looks around for his fallen shotgun, but it's nowhere to be seen. It must have slid overboard. She clicks her radio. Cruz, get down here. The captain's in bad shape. Over. Alright, is it all same? When they reach the commons, the door is swinging wildly open and Joey's nowhere to be seen. Shit, he's gone. The dumb son of a bitch left the door open. Lindsay closes the door to the commons and seals it shut. He probably went to vomit over the railing. I hope he didn't fall overboard. We can't waste our time babysitting an alcoholic moron. Let's get to the helm. Alright? When they arrive at the helm, there's a huge commotion going on. The captain's body is spread out on a table. 2 officers are tending to his wounds. Blood is dripping on the floor. Val regards the wounded captain with an expression of horror. Lindsay grimaces. What the hell happened here? Why don't you ask your doctor friend? Dr. Kemp is already in the helm. He's embattled in a shouting match with First Mate Cruz. Son of a bitch, do you realize what you've done? You're responsible for multiple deaths. So, same dialogue, but different person. Would you please calm down and be reasonable? I know I screwed up, but yelling at me won't fix anything. Here are my associates. We're secure in here, but we need to check on the rest of the crew. Namely, Chef and the rest of the sailors. Once we get to port, we'll wait for animal control to show up. We check the commons. Joey's gone missing. Damn, that stupid son of a bitch. Yeah. Right, I'll stay here and keep an eye on the captain. I'll also get on the radio and let the authorities know we've got a couple scumbags on board. And then, yeah. Jean and Lindsay march through the rain by and by. Oh, they're going together. They go downstairs. Oh, that's right, they did go. Meow. Lindsay follows her in. They cross the room to the galley door. Jean swings the valve and pulls open the door. Chef is standing on the other side with a baffled expression. His arm has been torn. Okay, so he's still injured arm. So still injured. Meow. You should come with us. We're treating the wounded in the helm. All right, that sounds good. Lindsay leads the way back out into the rain. Oh no. And an orange blur swipes him out of view in the blink of an eye. Holy shit! And then Chef sprints back. Jean rushes out into the rain to help Lindsay. He's crumpled on the floor as he wrests the beast's jaws away from his neck. His cheek is slashed open and his face is streaked with blood. He screams just as Jean levels his shotgun at his furry assailant. Shoot her! Jean fires twice and both shots explode in the tiger's back. The animal shrieks and retorts as it jumps off the wounded Lindsay and attempts to scamper away. Its spine seems to be severed as it cannot move its hind legs. Oh. He stands up slowly and draws his revolver and aims it with deliberation. Lindsay wipes the blood out of his eyes before he squeezes the trigger. The wounded tiger doesn't make a sound as the bullet passes through the back of its skull. It just falls over him. Lindsay turns around slowly and regards Jean through his bloodied face and torn cloths before he speaks. I could use some medical attention. Cruz is on the radio talking to the mainland. Mike Kroger is busy navigating the ship. This looks all pretty similar. Yep. Standing over the captain's body, Cruz slams her fist and curses. We lost him. Time of death is 8:46 p.m. Rest in peace, Frank. Damn it, Frank. Alright. So the lifeboat did not work out great for us. I'm thinking maybe if I run with Joey, we'll have a chance. But what if by me running? Because I don't trust to hang on the railing over the ocean. Because I'm like, isn't the tiger still gonna paw at me? So let's run with Joey. Val takes off running in the direction Joey went. The drunken lawyer stumbles over his own feet and trips. Val leaps over him and keeps running. Joey cries out desperately, "Wait for me, Val!" He doesn't turn back to look at Joey when he hears the tiger roar. Joey screams for a split second before his voice is cut abruptly short. Val runs up the stairs to the upper deck and he keeps running until he reaches the helm. The tiger draws Joey Haynes' fresh corpse and drops it next to the lifeboat. A small swarm of cubs come out. He still dies. Lindsay sits on the floor against the wall with bandages on his face. The morphine seems to be setting in just fine. Jean pulls aside, commanding Officer Cruz for a conversation. This is getting out of control. Tell me something I don't know. How about this? I'm gonna solve this problem myself. What are you talking about? They're cats. Cats like to nest. Okay, and then... Jesus, you're just gonna get yourself killed. The sailors are in their cabins. The crew is accounted for. Let's just hang back and wait until we get to port. Let animal control do their jobs, yeah? Jean pauses for a moment and deliberates her next words. Okay. I'm going if you like it or not. Ship safety is my responsibility. Alright, samey? Cruz nods. Understood. I'm gonna stay on the radio. Good luck, Jean. Sure. It's Val! What happened to you? Nothing. I just went out for a walk and now I'm back. I'm, here. I'm back. I tried to escape on a lifeboat, okay? I think Dave and Joey are both dead. Jesus Christ. Somebody lock this asshole in the brig. And if you don't mind, I'll be on my way to put down these effing cats. Before Jean goes any further, she stops to come up with a plan. I'm by myself? We're to search for the tiger's nest. Cargo hold. An uneasy feeling strikes Jean as she approaches the open cargo door. Jean steps carefully through the cargo hold with her shotgun extended. Nothing yet to see. Jean cautiously advances with her shotgun, leading the way. The cargo hold echoes with dripping water. She swings around the corner and sees a cluster of tiger cubs peeking out from behind a stack of crates. And among the cats lies the remains of several mauled human beings. 2 meaty skeletons are mutilated in the tiger's nest. Nothing but gnawed and fatty bones. They must be Sailor Terry and Sailor Morrison. She recognizes the recently deceased corpse of Dr. Kemp. His stomach and legs have been thoroughly picked clean by tiny teeth and claws. And finally, the scotch-soaked corpse of Joey Haynes. The tigers had barely touched him. Perhaps they were saving him for a fine occasion? She stands and beholds the sickening sight. The cubs notice her with a start. She exchanges bewildered expressions with the tiny baby tigers. Oh, shit. She spins around and aims her shotgun. Click the target or press space to shoot. Jean sees nothing but an impression of blurred fur, eyes, and wet teeth. She fires at the advancing tiger. The big cat falls limp with a pitiful wail. It tries to get back on all fours but just slumps over. The poor animal drags itself on the floor and mewls like a wounded house cat. This one has the tranquilizer dart protruding from its shoulder. It's the animal that killed Sailor Morrison. Does Jean finish off the animal? I feel bad, but I'm like, you've had that trank in you for a while and you're not down. Jean points her gun at the animal's head and shoots. In an instant, the beast goes limp and quiet. She lingers a moment before heading back to the stairwell. After dispatching the adult, Jean seals the door to the nest and returns to the helm. Hours later, the USS Black Grove arrives back in Santa Barbara. The crew hands over Val Fortunato to the authorities at Santa Barbara. They charge him for fraud and negligent manslaughter. It's unlikely he'll ever see the light of freedom again. A thorough investigation determines Ray Lindsay had been hired under false pretenses. Animal Control collects the last of the tiger litter and schedules them for euthanasia at the local zoo. However, the cubs mysteriously disappeared just hours before their scheduled demise. In the end, life returns to normal. This is all samey. Oh, we got the good ending! Clever girl! Look at all those survivors. Whee! Yeah, we lost Joey, Captain, Sailor, or Brian, Eric, and then Dr. David Kemp. I think it's possible to maybe save Joey and Frank, but it's like, I feel like the 2 sailors who discover the cats, there's nothing you can do. They're just gone, so. But either way, good job, us. Do we have time for another one? Let me check my stuff here real quick. I think we do. Alright. Let's get y'all another game.